Hello everyone, welcome to a quick and gentle chakra yoga flow for all the chakras. If you only have 30 minutes for practice today, then this should be a good class for you because we're going to cover each one of the chakras and get the energy flow going in each one of them. So hopefully overall we can bring some re-energizing to our energy bodies, to our physical bodies, and also refocus our minds as well. We don't need any particular props tonight, but feel free to grab any props that you would like to support your practice. And we're going to begin seated in Sukhasana. Take a moment in your Sukhasana to get comfortable, and if you like, you can switch your legs so that your non-dominant leg is forward. And allow your shoulders to drop down. Bring your chin level with the floor. Nice straight back. And feel free to close your eyes. Take a few breaths in and out through your nose. And take a deep and long inhale. Retain your breath for just a moment. And release your breath. Taking another deep inhale. Pausing at the top of your inhale, retaining your breath. And exhale, let it go. Take in just one more deep breath, and as you do, let that breath go all the way down into your belly. And as you exhale, exhale through your mouth with a sigh. Breathe in, bringing your hands to your heart space in prayer mudra. Taking a moment to set an intention that would serve your yoga practice. And after you have set your intention, you can release, bring your hands down. We're going to take the hands onto the knees and move through some seated cat and cow. You're going to inhale, draw your chest forward, lean forward with your body, lift your chin up just a bit, and exhale, come back, draw your shoulders forward, tuck your chin underneath. Continue to move with this flow, moving with your breath. And if your sit bones are either rocking forward or rocking back, feel free to let them move as your body moves. Take a few more rounds. And then pause. We're going to bring our back nice and straight. And then we're going to bring the right hand behind us. You can stay where you are. Bring your right hand behind you and then bring your left hand to your right knee. Take an exhale and twist, maybe look behind you. And let that left hip float up if it's coming up from the floor. You don't have to glue it down, you can let it move. And take a few breaths here. Exhaling if you want to twist a little bit deeper. Breathe in to come forward and exhale, switch sides and twist. Inhale forward and exhale. Legs are going to come out in front. You can point and flex your toes. Take your hands behind you. Just take a couple of moments to move your feet, roll your ankles, move your legs back and forth. Whatever you need to do to warm up your legs just a little bit. And once you're ready, you can let your toes face up towards the ceiling. You can come forward, place a little bend in your knees, and then exhale to come down into a seated forward fold. The head is going to relax. Take some deep breaths. Breathe in. We're going to slowly draw up one vertebrae at a time. And we're going to come to tabletop position, hands and knees. Taking a few dynamic movements in your tabletop. You can move your shoulders, move your hips, move your head also if you like. Move however feels good for you. We will come to stillness, taking the wrists right under the shoulders. Then we're going to take an inhale, extend the right leg back, tucking the toes, pressing your heel back and forth. And right knee comes back down, left leg extends, same thing. Very good. Bring your left knee down. Prepare for downward facing dog by walking your hands forward and spreading out your fingers. Toes tuck. Your exhale takes you all the way back to downward dog. And feel free to find some of those same dynamic movements in your downward facing dog. Lifting and lowering your heels, maybe moving your hips or moving your head. Then come to stillness. Breathe in to come up onto your toes with a slight bend in your knees, and then walk your feet forward, coming up to the front of your mat, planting the feet hip width apart. Take an inhale, lift yourself half up. And exhale, come down for a forward fold. Shaking the head back and forth, and up and down. We're going to let our upper body hang. If you're grabbing onto your ankles, go ahead and take your hands forward, bend your knees, relax your head, and let your legs support you as your upper body comes down with gravity. And using your legs, pressing down your feet. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up. Beautiful job. Find your mountain pose, your Tadasana. Let each one of your toes spread out and press down into your mats. And let there be space between each one of your fingers. Take an inhale, lift your arms up above your head. Lift your gaze up between your hands. And exhale, draw your hands down to your heart. Exhale, hands come behind your back. Find a clasp. And then inhale, lift up your heart. Let your hands drop down. Slowly coming up. And exhale, come down for a bound forward fold. Hands pressed towards the back of your head. Bring your hands down to your lower back and then release them down. Bring the hands in front of the feet. Inhale, lift up onto the tips of your fingers, slightly extending your spine. And then exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and step back to a plank position. Coming down to your belly, knees drop, toes untuck, come down. Hands next to your ribs, feet pressed down. Inhale up, Bhujangasana. Heart lifts forward. Slight lift of your chin. And exhale back down to your mat. Inhale up to your hands and your knees or to plank. And exhale back, downward dog. And as you take your next breath out, you can step your right foot forward, coming into a lunge. Bring your left knee down. And if you come up and you find you're a little off balance, you can bring your hands back down, walk your right foot over towards the right just a bit. Make space for your hips. And then try coming back up, finding a stable foundation underneath you. Maybe lifting your arms up and maybe taking your hands to your heart. And exhale, take your hands slowly down. And we're going to lift up the left leg to step back into plank. Moving through our flow down to the mat. Lifting up with the inhale for cobra, high or low cobra. And exhale, slowly move back down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, downward dog. Breathe in here, prepare to step forward. Exhale, left foot. Steps to a lunge, right knee comes down. If you need space for your hips on the right side by walking your foot over, do the same for the left side before you come up and find Anjaneyasana. And exhale, take your hands down. Step to plank pose. Exhale, belly. Inhale, cobra pose. And either come back down to your belly and move through tabletop or plank, back to downward dog, or from here you can tuck your toes and begin to draw your lower belly in, bend your knees, send your hips back just a bit, and then lift up and back to downward dog. And exhale, step your right foot forward. We're going to lower the left knee and this time walk the right foot over towards the right edge of the mat. Coming into lizard pose. Both hands are on the inside of the right foot. Feel free to take a blanket or a cushion underneath your left knee if you like. Feel free to stay lifted up onto your hands or come down to your forearms or down to a blanket for sleeping lizard. And inhale up, back to your hands. You're going to switch sides. Lift up your left knee, step back with your right foot. Plank pose, come back to downward dog. Move your feet. And then exhale, left foot. Steps forward and moves towards the edge of the mat. Right knee comes down. And find a comfortable place for your lizard pose. If you'd like to come down, you can. If you'd like to stay lifted, you can. Wherever you're at, notice your breath. Inhaling, coming back up to the hands. If you were lowered, tuck the right toes, right knee lifts up. Step back to downward facing dog. We'll take 5 deep breaths in and out in our downward dogs. And to exhale, slowly bring your knees down, untuck your toes, come back for a child's pose. Inhale, slowly come up. You're going to take our legs to the side, bring them in front, and scoot forward. We're going to make our way down onto our backs. Draw your feet in a bit towards your hips. We're going to inhale, scoop the hips up and press them up towards the ceiling. Taking the hands underneath the lower back for a clasp in bridge pose. Exhale, slowly, slowly. Come back down to your mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let the knees open out to the sides for reclining Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana. Take one hand to your heart. Take the other hand to your belly. And begin to engage the 3-part breath. As you breathe in, let your stomach fill up first with air. Let your rib cage fill up with air. And then your chest. And as you release from the belly, from the rib cage, from the chest. Now you may make yourself nice and comfortable for our final resting pose, Shavasana. And take your feet a little bit wider. Maybe move your arms out a little wider and take up a little bit of space or a lot of bit of space, whatever's comfortable for you. If you have any last wiggles, movement, stretches to do before you rest, feel free to do so now. And come to settle down on your back. Feel free to keep that 3-part breath with you through Shavasana. And I invite you to let your eyes close. And I invite your mind to hold a soft, gentle focus on each inhale and each exhale. Take a slow and deep breath in. And release the breath with a sigh. Breathing in again. Exhaling through the mouth, audible sigh. You begin to move your fingers and your toes, ankles and wrists. And make your way slowly and gently onto your right side. Press yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Remember your intention. If your intention has served its purpose, you can let it go with gratitude. If you would like to keep it with you and continue to let it inspire you, then feel free to keep it with you for as long as you would like. Give yourself lots of gratitude and lots of love for showing yourself self-love and self-care through yoga. And send your gratitude and your love to the practice of yoga itself. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful evening, beautiful rest of your week. Satnam. Until next time.